Globally, the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic greatly disrupted education systems, forcing learners in some schools to shift to virtual learning to curb the spread of the pandemic. About 73,200 schools and institutions closed, forcing over 15 million learners to stay home. Many dependents on the sector lost jobs, most especially teachers in the private schools. But despite the surge, the pandemic did not entirely put an end to education within that period. Innovations in technology staged a solution to enable students keep the syllabus even when at a distance with their teachers, and also enabling teachers to be in position to tap into income generation. Jablon Aliao Emmanuel, an innovator and expert in the world of technology, is among the innovators who opted for a solution.
E-learning, the innovation itself is called the ScholarLink Academy. It's an all-in-one powerful online learning platform where teachers and learners interact from anywhere. Whether you're at the other corner of the earth or this corner of the globe, you can set up an account and you set up your teaching environment, set up your subjects, and then you set up how much you want to be paid per week or per month. You set up, you put in the study material, you set your timetable when students can find you, and then basically that's on the teacher's side. Then when for a student, they will have to register as well. Students from schools, even if you're not in school, there's also a provision for that. So you can select the subject you want to take. If you select that you're in senior 6, you'll be presented options of subjects that you can actually take. If you're not in school, there are freelance subjects that you can take, skills that you can learn and stuff like that. So what's actually motivated us to create this platform? It was during the pandemic. A lot of schools were scrambling to get online because schools had closed, and most teachers were also at home, children were also at home, and education was stagnant in the country. So we had to devise means of contributing, making sure that the education continues even amidst the pandemic. So a lot of schools were looking for e-learning platforms. If they didn't have their own, at least they look for a service provider who could actually develop for them one. So me and my team, we came up, we're like, you know what, let us make some little research. We look at what schools actually need, what they're looking for, what they're looking to actually do when it comes to online learning, what they can manage and what they're capable of handling. So we collected the information, and then we sat down with our team. We drew up a plan on how we can develop this. We put in all the necessary tools that need to be put there. There's even marking. There are tools which can allow a teacher to mark right online. A student submits their homework, the teacher sees it, there are tools that they can use to mark and then award marks. So we included all that in our planning, and then we implemented it. So once we implemented it, we operated it in two ways. As a standalone platform, and also as a service provider platform. So as a standalone, it was like a school of its own, where we would get teachers who would come and teach. And then as a service, a school can hire or can rent the platform. They say, for us, we want our own platform customized to our school. So we'll customize the platform and then enter their teachers' details. Then we show them how their students can log in. And then we get into agreement and then we'll begin. So what really inspired us was students being at home in the pandemic, teachers being unemployed, and schools being stagnant, education being stagnant. We wanted education to move on. And you also know during the pandemic, there was a lot of unemployment. A lot of schools had closed, and there were a lot of qualified teachers out there who can teach, who can deliver quality education, and then also who can deliver quality education, and then also students who can also learn from that quality education. So we were inspired by that. Another thing that inspired us was also the fact that the things started now coming on, things that would now inspire us to put this thing on board. We realized that there's good quality education in Uganda, and there are qualified teachers. But most of these qualified teachers are concentrated within the central, and most of them are found in big schools, good schools, schools that are considered very good. But so you'll find that most of the teachers are only accessible when you as a student or as a learner, you subscribe to this school and become a student. And subscribing to these schools is it's very expensive. These good schools are very expensive. So we said, why don't you create an open platform where, as long as you're a qualified teacher and you deliver good quality content, you'll be accessible by anybody, even if you're up country, even if you're in the west of Uganda, even if you're in the central. And we break down the way this fees is paid. It doesn't have to be like a school where you have to buy school uniform, bring requirements, pay all those millions of money. You just sign up as long as you have the urge to study. You sign up from wherever you are, you get access to quality education and quality teachers. So that is what access to quality education is one of the things that inspired us. That wasn't being offered to everyone in the country. So those are some of the things that motivated us to come up with this e-learning platform.
The platform provides study skills in a flexible manner that best suits the students' needs. That all, they can teach online, tutoring, or personal tutoring, whichever is more convenient. A wide range of subjects are taught like mathematics, English, history, and geography for all level and A level, inclusive of other science subjects.
Ever since we brought out this platform, of course, immediately we put it out there was a high demand for it. So, like I mentioned earlier, we put it as a standalone platform and also as a service. So, there were a few schools that contacted us. Yeah, I won't have to mention their names, but there are a few schools that contacted us, and we customized the platform to their students, to their school. And also, we customized the platform so that it's easy for their students to log in and you can recognize under their students. So we put variations in ways that the platform can know that this student is from such and such a school. So a few schools responded, and then now we also wanted to, as a standalone platform, we wanted to run it as a school of its own. So we reached out to teachers out there online because during the pandemic there was no movement mostly. So we reached out to the teachers out there. If you're qualified, can you teach? So they would jump on board. Even teachers who maybe have just been released from the National Teachers College. Once you just release teachers from school or you just graduated, it's not very easy for you to just get a job. So these are people we targeted. Tell them, if you can deliver, if you have the qualification, and if you have the certification, you can jump on board. So we got a few teachers who signed up. We were focusing on, for primary, we focused on the 4 basic subjects: English, Maths, Science, and Social Studies. So we got a few teachers for that. Not for all the classes, but just a few. Then also secondary, we're focusing mostly on the science subjects because that's what most students actually were demanding. Because most parents, if they had to pay for a student to learn on your platform, they would ask for mostly science subjects. So we reached out to the teachers, a few teachers registered, then reached out to the students. Students also came up and registered. Yeah, we had a number of students who signed up. And then the learning started. We had to train the teachers on how they had to teach because we had our specifications for the teachers. If you're a teacher if you can manage to teach online, and being able to teach online means you have a device that you can use to log onto the platform, a device that has a camera, and let's say you have a board, a whiteboard or a blackboard, or you can access a blackboard. We try to put the traditional way of teaching into the technology. So if you had a classroom, not a classroom, a room, which is clear enough lighting, and a good camera, and you had data, then we would train you on how you can use this platform to utilize it to teach your students, to set up your timetable, set up a virtual classroom. We embedded everything that a teacher does in a normal classroom. Then we put it online, and so once the teachers got to know the knowledge, they were able to use it. And students, they even got their own students, the teachers who got their own students, and so it moved on mostly. There was a big response during the pandemic.
The development and the use of e-learning in education has gained global recognition as a learning method that facilitates the teaching and learning processes. As a result, it comes as no surprise that education institutions have been forced to embrace new education strategies to a larger extent due to the increasing student needs seeking to constantly acquire and apply new knowledge and skills.
The e-learning is still very relevant in Uganda. you saw how the pandemic took people by storm. So you realize that a school has to have a backup plan, has to be ready for anything, because you do not know what's going to happen next. And perhaps the pandemic has not yet actually fully passed. You never know, something might happen and the government again announces, please, let's go back to a lockdown, there's something going on. And then if you're a school out there and you're not attached to an e-learning platform that can help you continue teaching your students, delivering education to your students, it would be bad, you know. So I would advise that if you're a school out there, it's best to have a blended way of learning. Makerere University right now has adopted that. It used to be just physical learning, but even after the pandemic, even amidst student strikes, they have maintained the blended way of learning. And some lecturers are actually, I'm hearing some lecturers actually are choosing to continue delivering content online, not having to leave home and go and come back and stuff like that. And students are learning. So e-learning is still very relevant in Uganda and the world at large. Then another reason as to why this is still very, very relevant is since the pandemic, there are teachers who have failed to, there are schools that have failed to open. And that means that there are teachers who are unemployed at the moment. And also that means that there are students that don't have schools at the moment. Another thing is that this platform is also to help, sometimes students are sent away from school and they can't join another school. You find that the parent wants the student to continue learning. E-learning would be the answer to that. So, and also the unemployment rate among teachers or qualified teachers. You find that it's quite hard for a teacher to get a school to teach in. Much as schools are looking for teachers, it's very hard for a teacher to actually get a school to teach you. But if you're a teacher who knows your craft, you're set and you know how that you can deliver content, e-learning is the way to go. You find a platform like this one, you set up a teaching environment, and then you get the word out there. You let people know that I'm this qualified teacher, I specialize in this subject. Please, whenever you're free, this is the timetable, log on and learn from wherever you are. You don't have to go to school, you don't have to go to class. Just as long as you're comfortable seated at home, you can study online. So that's one of the reasons as to why the e-learning is still very relevant. And then another thing is people who are like in remote areas. Like I mentioned, access to quality education. Quality education is concentrated only in the urban areas. But there are learners out there who are very eager to learn, they are very bright students, but they can't access this quality education. But if there's an open platform that they can access these teachers, then access to quality education will be possible for almost everyone. So we need to continue having this e-learning platform, or e-learning generally, so that education can spread worldwide and reach the areas that it has not been able to reach before.
E-learning provides scalability, which helps in providing training. All students can receive the same type of syllabus, study materials, and train through e-learning. Through e-learning, you can save time, money, and reduce transportation cost. So e-learning is cost-effective compared to traditional learning. But the uniqueness in here is that you all avail an opportunity to create a learning center as a teacher and also be in position to earn a living.
E-learning is very vital to business as a whole, because you see, as your teacher, you want to be paid. You want to earn the money that you deserve. Because sometimes you go to school, you're teaching in a school and you're being paid less than you deserve. So our e-learning platform allows you to set up a reasonable amount of money that you feel you can be paid every week or every month. Of course, we as the administrators of the platform, we have to be regulatory. We are on regulatory body, though we are trying to get in touch with the ministry so that we can put in more regulations. So if you're a teacher and you're qualified, you can think of starting your own business. Let me call it that. It's a learning business, because you can set up your teaching platform. Our platform is very powerful. as long as you're capable of teaching, you'll be able to deliver all the content that you want to deliver and very effectively and efficiently. So you can also have as many students as you can. You're not restricted like in a school setup where you teach only the students that you're supposed to teach. You see, sometimes teachers get they get one job in one school, get another job in another school. But instead of doing that, you get into a central platform where you can reach a maximum number of students that you can reach, and then you'll be able to earn as much as you can. So it is very effective business-wise. It helps you earn. It's like you become an entrepreneur. You earn your own money, not restricted by whoever is employing you. You earn your own money, and the thing that is that for us, we just take a small percentage from what the teachers earn. If let's say a student is paying you 50,000 per week, we take only like 10%, and that's from 50,000. That's 5,000. So if you're having 100 students that you're teaching in a week, that's 500,000 a week. So and for us, we just take what 10% of that. So it's the trick is in the numbers. So the more students you teach, the more ground you reach, the more content you deliver, the more you earn.
I studied from NTC Career. Yeah, the NTCs. Actually, I attend my diploma in education, which basically I'm supposed to keep on upgrading. I realized that teaching was not my thing. First of all, I wanted more. Maybe like writing novels, books, and playing basketball. But with the e-learning platform, it doesn't actually require you to be in a school, because there are those schools whereby you work for them but you're not paid. But with this, it's like the student logs in, because the first week the student learns for free. If at all the student has liked you, she will click a yes. If they haven't liked you, then she'll click a no. So with that first week, the student, you're supposed to be interacting with the student. If the student likes you and likes the subject or how you're giving the content out, the student will just accept. Okay? So basically with the e-learning process, or maybe the e-learning link, I've realized that it actually helps a teacher even if a teacher is not in a school. Yeah? As long as you have your papers and you qualify, because the system itself automatically checks. Are you qualified? You have the papers. Okay? You have a national ID. Yeah.
To access this e-learning platform, you have to go to scholarlinkug.com. You just get onto a browser, type the scholarlinkug.com. Now, when you reach the landing page, you actually have guidance. It guides you, it lets you know what this platform is all about. The register button and the login buttons are all there. You can create an account. If you want to read about what this platform is all about, the information is here. It's developed by LGM Technologies. And then about this platform, you can find all the information you need here. And then how the platform works, you can how the teachers, this is for the teachers, then this is for the learners. If you want to know how this platform works, you can read all that from here. You can know what is offered here. You can teach online, and there are online classes, there are timed online assessments, there's automatic grading, there's marking assignments online, there's downloading of material. Yeah, you can download study material, you can upload the useful links and the assessments. So there are contacts here, if in case you want to contact LGM Technologies for this platform, you can easily do that. So when you come onto this platform, you either register or you log in. If you already have a login account, you just come to log in, and the platform will ask if you're a student or a teacher. So if you're a student, you just tap on students, and then you log in. You put your login details, and then you log in. So you give it time to log in. All right, so once you're logged in, this is the first screen that greets you as a student or a learner. If there is any ongoing online class going on at the time, it will be displayed here. If you have assignments that have been set to you by your teachers, you can find them here. Like for example, this student has agriculture, senior 6 science, and you can decide to view. But now it looks like it's already passed, so a student has missed that assignment. On the side here, it shows you the subjects that you've subscribed to and how many days you have left for the subscription to end. Then here you can come and look at the subjects that you've actually subscribed to. Biology, math, agriculture. Then let's say, for example, if this student is a senior 6 student, there are other subjects that the student can actually subscribe to. These are biology practicals, physics, level 1, fine art, biology. So you can view the teacher who teaches this. You can click here on view. It will show you the information about the teacher who is going to be teaching you. You'll see his experience, you'll see where he has taught, you'll see the schools that he has taught and the subjects that the teacher offers. You can also check, let's say there's a physics teacher. If you want to take physics, you can see what the teacher has put there for you. You can see the schools they have taught in and the subjects that they are teaching. So you can see the amount of money that you're going to pay. See? This subject that's charging 30,000, this one is charging 120, this one is charging 100,000. Then for your subject, you are able to see the timetable. You can see that on Thursday you have a biology lesson from 8 to 10. On Friday you have a biology lesson from 8 to 10. So this is the dashboard. In case you want to focus mostly on your timetable, you can just click on timetable. And it will show you your timetable. In case you want to access notes, if a teacher has uploaded notes, they will appear right here. If there are assignments, you will come and check on the assignments, the ones that you have to do. And you can also check for your results and for each of the subjects. In case teachers have uploaded for you your results, you'll see them here. You'll see your marks here and the like. So you can even go check on biology itself as a subject. You'll see whatever is available there. There's a timetable. You'll see, you go to A-level math, it's the same kind of stuff. And if there are any notifications here that the teacher wants to pass to the students, they can pass that. If the class is ongoing, this button will be activated and you just click online. But since there's no online class going on right now, it will tell you online class not available. So that is all the subjects that you're undertaking. That is how you're able to view everything on the platform. So now for agriculture, there are a lot of assignments on agriculture that you have to undertake. So basically that's the overview of a student's account on this platform. So now let us go look at the one for the view of the teacher. So if you're a teacher, you come, of course, and then you log in. Click on the login button. Then you select teacher. Then you enter your details and then you log in. And once you're successfully logged in, so for a teacher has a broad view of everything. You can see the number of subjects that you're teaching. You can see the number of students that have subscribed to your subject. You can see the subjects that you're teaching. Here are your details. You can see the phone number, and then also you can look at the revenue that you're making as students are subscribing. This is a test account, of course. So as a teacher, you can come to your subjects. Here is where you can actually create subjects. If you want to teach A-level arts, if you teach A-level arts, A-level sciences, if you're a freelancer, if you teach lower primary, P1 to P2, middle primary, P3 to P5, O-level, S1 to S4, or if it's even unknown, you can even then upper primary. So you select that, then you select the class that you want to teach, the subject that you're going to teach, the price. You put the price here, how much money you want to be paid per whatever period it is. So you can choose if you want to be paid weekly or monthly, and this will be, then you just add the subject and the subject. So let's say, look at, for example, this teacher has agriculture, this has economics, it's charging 25,000. He has English, there's mathematics. So then the study materials, you can add there whatever you want to add under agriculture. You can add their topics. You can add their topics under economics. You can add their topics under mathematics. So that is how you can set up your subject if you're a teacher. You set up how much you want to be paid and how much you're going to be paid per month or per week. Then when you come to resources, it will show you if you want to add a topic under, if you want to, let's say, give students some kind of document, study material, you will just come and add a document here. See, this is a document that has been added by the teacher under mathematics. You can just choose your subjects, the subjects that you teach. You choose a topic, if you have an external link, let's say there's a YouTube video that you want students to watch from that material, or if you want to upload any kind of material like a PDF or a Word document, you can upload that. Then you can come and also set up your timetable. So you can see this teacher's timetable is here. Monday he has math, economics in the morning and in the afternoon. Wednesday you have fine arts, Sunday you have economics. You can teach on whichever day you want to teach. Then if you want to set up a timetable, you just select the subject, the day of the week, then the time, the starting time and the ending time, then you save your timetable. So if you want to set up an assignment, you can come and set up an assignment for a student. And you click if students have submitted an assignment, when you click here to view, right now there are no submitted assignments. So when you click here to view, you'll be able to see the assignments that have been submitted by the students. You can set up a test. You can upload, or you can set a quiz. Remember, like I told you, you can set up a quiz. You can set your question here, then you say option A, option B, option C, option D, so that somebody can just come and a student will just select the options that they want to see the correct answer, and the marking will be done automatically. So in case you want to start a class, a live class online, let's say you come and select one of your subjects like agriculture. Then you say start online class. This is where you start your online class. Then you go live and the student will be able to see you. When you click on this subject, you can start a class. You can see the unmarked assignments by the students. You can see that the number of lessons you've conducted in a week. You can see the topics you've uploaded. You can see all the material about that subject. You can even see the performance of your students down here, and the students' assessment marks, which you can even submit to them. You can, if in case you want to pass a notification to the student, so that when the student opens their subject, they can see that this person has left a notice that we have to do this. So basically that is what this e-learning platform does for the teacher. So you can see your subjects, you can see the performance of students, you can see how students are subscribing to your subject. You can see how, let's say in the month of July, I have one student that has come for English, I have 2 students for math, I have 3 students for economics. You can look at your timetable. So basically that's how this whole e-learning platform works. You can look at how much money you're making, because once a student pays their subscription, it comes directly to the teacher. So basically that is how this whole e-learning platform works.
In this technological world, it's very important for teachers to be in step with new technologies. This will allow them to better understand their students who are actively browsing the webs. Tutors will be able to adapt their teaching methods to their learners' needs, and they will improve their own IT abilities. E-learning platforms allow teachers to stay connected to their students outside of school hours in order to exchange different ideas, resources, and many more, inclusive of the freedom to experiment in their teaching practice and the ability to make changes if something doesn't work.
My experience with using the e-learning platform was actually very good, because actually not to exaggerate, but then my personal experience it was actually good, very good, because I came to understand that me, instead of moving miles and miles to just go and have a lesson, I could possibly just have it online. Basically that would actually help in advancing more of the students' learning technique of learning, centered learning. Because with the new curriculum right now in Uganda, one of the articles that we're basically talking about, or maybe what's the experience of the students. The students is actually supposed to give you the content. It's like the student is supposed to teach you. It's like okay, there are these books that were introduced by the Ministry of Education and Sports, and basically one of them will possibly talk about these ones here, connecting the classrooms. So this book basically talks about how you would actually interact with the class. Okay. For example, when the student opens up the learning textbook of the learner is supposed to be able to see a picture. For example, like here, the learner sees the picture. By seeing the picture, she's supposed to give you feedback of what she's actually right now seeing, without you helping them. In some circumstances, if at all the learner is not able, that's when you come in as a teacher.
David Waliaula, a teacher by qualification, believes that with the e-learning format, students are in position to exercise freedom of expression, which is vital to their learning.
Actually, with physical interaction with my students, basically, I had actually realized that most of the students actually fear their teachers, They fear to come and maybe ask the teacher a question, But with the e-learning platform, the student is able to ask you without fear or favor, Maybe, for example, the students, just like earlier on, we had actually looked at, the student is able to send a notification to the teacher, as well as the teacher also sending a feedback of the question or maybe anything. And with the e-learning process, the student can actually access it at any time. Even if it's night and maybe the student is a day scholar, he or she can also log in as a student, send you a notification which you will basically receive on your phone.
Let's have a review of his experience with the program during the time of use and how he was interacting with his students, and he was also in position to earn an income despite not being attached to a school or institution.
Today I would like to show you how I actually joined up scholarlinkug.com. It actually helped me in teaching during my COVID, to teach actually basically my students. And I would actually begin by typing in a link, which is Scholarlink, which is this, scholarlinkuganda.com. Scholarlink ug.com. So before you, this is our website that I actually had joined during my COVID time that I used to teach. So basically, since I'm already a user of this link, I will just log in. So basically, I'm the teacher. So can actually even show you there's a student and there's a teacher. So I'm the teacher. So I'll log in as the teacher. So basically, what you're seeing here is my username as Griffin, then my password. So what I would just do, I'll just say login. Which will basically take me to my platform. Should that be? Okay. Before you here is my user page about Scholarlink Academy, Uganda.com. This is me, the teacher David Griffin Waliaula. And the following, these are the subjects that I'm teaching, CRE, History and Divinity. As you can see, as Senior 6, A-Level, then also O-Level, I do that. So this basically shows you the overview of the subjects I teach. Then the number of students that I had, who were 9 students, and the number of subjects that I was teaching, which were the 14 subjects. So basically, to take you through, we shall look at the subjects, my subjects, which are basically this. Clearly showing you my payment schedule about each subject, which you're seeing here. For example, you're seeing history, A-Level, 25,000 per week. Okay. So when we look at more of this, we're basically looking at here is where you choose the subject that you want to teach. For example, A-Level, Senior 6, Arts, which subject? So which means you're choosing a class that you possibly want to teach. Then the class that you would prefer teaching, which may be Senior 6. Then the subject, maybe history, and setting the price. Okay? So basically here, you're going to look at the resources. For the resources, it's basically concerned about the student-centered form of learning. For example, you're going to look at the various setting of the subject. For example, if I have a test that I want to upload, I would select and say, my subject that I'm going to, or maybe the test I'm going to set is religious education, which is basically that, it will accept. Then the topic. Which topic am I thinking about? I might say family, okay? So I may choose a file from my folder, for example, maybe a past paper, a UNEB past paper, okay? So by choosing that, here is where you upload. You choose a file, then you say save. Then it will be uploaded automatically to the website, where students can easily access the work and being able to make research. So when we go down here, we're going to look at the various tests that I used to give my students, the past papers. For example, you're looking at history, number 1, history A-level, senior 5. You're looking at history past papers, okay? So here I could have the ability to upload and delete the past papers which are being used and other subjects. Then we'll look at the timetable. For basically the timetable, this timetable is actually shared by you, the teacher, and the student himself. So for example, if I choose my subject here as CRE, or maybe Christian Religious Education Senior 1, I'll say the day of the week, maybe for example, I'll say maybe on Monday, then the lesson starting. You set up the time that you want your lesson to start. So which means by automatically logging in, you'll be taken to a subject that you're supposed to be teaching, because the system actually works automatically for the student, for both the student, then the teacher himself. For example, my timetable here says Divinity on Tuesday. So this is how the timetable helps both the student and the teacher. Then we are looking at assignments. For the assignments, below here you're looking at the subject. I'll still choose the subject, because what I can possibly say about this platform, it's very easy to actually, I would say it's actually next generation tech, if I'm to put it that way. You could choose the subject, upload it, give an assignment. It can either be a past paper, or maybe it can be a quiz, so it gives you the ability to it actually gives you the ability to use the new curriculum, because what we involve among the new curriculum is using the student to think without the teacher, okay? So below here, you're going to look at the past papers, or maybe the questions I set, because you can have the ability to set a deadline, upload the test, then also set the test, okay? So setting a test, it involves you setting a quiz. Then uploading a test, it can be in form of a printed script and uploading it. Then if at all you would want to start a class, for example, since we had earlier on looked at the subjects, you setting up the timetable, the subjects that you're supposed to be teaching. So basically, if you want to start a class, you would just possibly log in, then come and click on your class, on the subject. So by clicking on your subject, which means you're going to exactly where you're supposed to be teaching. And on the right corner here, you're looking at the notifications. This is where you would say, my class will be starting at 8, or maybe there's an assignment, there's a test next week, So the thing is that it has the ability to tell you starting the class, you seeing the unmarked assignments, which I actually did not mark to because of some reasons. When COVID got done, students went back to school. So even the timetable, okay? So if I told I want to start my class, I'll click here, say start class. So it will automatically take me to my class. With my class, it has the ability to give me an audio mic, or maybe what we call an audio mic, or maybe a visual picture, me seeing my student as the student is also seeing me, and also maybe audio to audio, okay? So basically it's saying it cannot be, it cannot phrase the payload, because basically the system works automatically, whereby if students are not online, or maybe they're not functioning, the site will just shut down automatically with the aim of reducing resources. If students were at home, maybe joining up and signing, it will be loading straight to the class.
Students, on the other hand, found the e-learning effective during the COVID-19 pandemic, though some experienced challenges when in use due to the geographical locations, but they seem to use it at a smaller extent.
On the fact that there was intense surge of COVID, so we couldn't access the school premises physically, so we decided, the administration decided to opt for online studying. And we used various platforms, whereby we used Mwele, that is Makerere University e-learning environment. We used YouTube, we could access some projects via YouTube. We also used WhatsApp, whereby the lecturers used to send us information they used to send information to the class reps, and the class reps used to distribute them via WhatsApp. So it's also e-learning. But e-learning platform, like when we were using the e-learning platform, we faced various challenges, most especially some of us who were in the villages, we went back to our villages. Me personally, I was in Fort Potro, and it was quite difficult for me to access data. Data was a bit expensive by then, and it was a hindrance anyway. Then another issue, we had delayed feedbacks from lecturers, from our group leaders, so that is it.
It's important for schools and institutes to adapt a mixed teaching style due to unknown future difficulties. The pandemic was a great lesson. Jablon further narrates.
When it comes to e-learning, like I mentioned, it has to be blended. There has to be both the physical touch and then the technology bit of it. One thing I can mention is during holidays, schools want to keep in touch with their students. They want to deliver holiday packages or holiday studies, which sometimes is not allowed by the Ministry of Education. So people can continue studying even during the holidays. Students might have gone home, then you can just organize a small period of time during the day, maybe 3 days a week or 4 days a week, where students can log in from their homes, from the comfort of their homes. They have a teacher tutor them, and then they can deliver the holiday package to keep the students' minds sharp. Because sometimes when you go into the holidays, learners' minds can be taken off by a lot of distractions that are out there, and that also keeps the learners focused, especially during the school times. So schools have to adopt these e-learning platforms in order to have a blended way of learning. Sometimes you might even realize that, like I mentioned, at the university, Makerere University, it has totally adopted that, and plus other universities as well, UCU and all that stuff. One important thing about it is, even if you're not teaching directly online, you can use it to send out notes, send out study material, send out videos, send out links, send out assignments that people can do, because these e-learning platforms allow you to do online quizzes. So you can set up an online quiz that learners can just go there and take their time and they learn it. Even during the school, even when you're in school, you can also have a blended way of learning, because most schools have computer laboratories. Okay, so you can sometimes encourage students a way of making them to interact with technology more. You can schools can sometimes set up assignments online, and they ask their students, please go to the computer lab, interact with the computers, log on to our platform, then you do this assignment and you send it back to us. That would be a way of making sure that people are getting tech savvy. They are learning to use technology by blending e-learning with the physical kind of learning. So I believe every school owner out there ought to have an e-learning platform alongside the physical way of learning in order to keep education at balance.
Jablon Emmanuel finally recommends the responsible stakeholders, most especially the government, to give a hand in such innovations through revising the already implemented policies. This is to ensure impact in the livelihoods of Ugandans. Uganda is estimated to have about 12.16 million internet users, and among these, it's a source of income.
I believe the best way the government can enter this e-learning business is, first of all, to support these e-learning platforms. For example, our platform, the Scholarlink Academy, we're looking to actually get it accredited by the Ministry of Education and Sports as a standalone school of its own that generalizes learning from all corners of Uganda. So we're looking to have it registered as a school of its own. The only thing is that when we inquired, we found that the laws that are in place, they only allow for registration of a physical school. Things like where they demand you to have a plot of land, to have stuff. So they're going to have to adjust some policies in order to, that's one of the things they can do. They have to adjust some of the policies in order to entertain e-learning platforms, and so that they can operate like schools. So once that is achieved, then they can now work on making sure that these e-learning platforms can reach those remote centers that we're trying to focus on. Remote places like, places that people do not have, people may not be able to afford gadgets that they can study on. There, I believe there the government can come in. For example, they can install a network that can be used to access the e-learning platforms, and then they can come up with learning centers, whereby probably you can put a projector and connect to this platform. You have a teacher who is actually teaching like he's in class. You can see him teaching. They put their speakers, and children sit there and learn. And that's one way that the government can actually make this to grab the education out there, because it will be quality education. Some qualified teachers may fear to actually reach these remote areas because they feel it may not be secure enough for them. But if somebody is confident in where they are, and they're sure they can reach the remote areas as easily as possible when the platform has been set for them by the government, then I believe that would be very effective. Education will be reaching the people that you wouldn't have been able to reach. You don't have to go and open up a school, set up a school, buy land, and then you takes time building the school, you start calling people. It's best if the government adopted this kind of technology, because that would be the least the government could do. Set up a center, maybe with a network, and that you can access these services. So the government has to dip its hand deep into this e-learning business so that it can expand the education, and also to be prepared for any calamities that may come, like the pandemic did, so that things can move on when we are always ready. So I believe that's one of the ways the government can get into this learning business, by supporting the e-learning platforms and ensuring that it reaches the remote areas.
So far, uncertainty hangs in the air about the future of education in Uganda. It's clear that the move towards online classes will, for instance, widen the inequality in education owing to issues of internet access. This is a call to the responsible stakeholders to establish stable infrastructures to support the system's operations within the country. Barry J. Andrew, Smart Tech.